When the spaghetti in your pantry is ruining your dinner. That box of spaghetti, sitting in your kitchen cabinet. The one you boil every week, toss with sauce, and serve to your family. Thinking, pasta is pasta. But the truth is, those noodles might be working against your meal. A mushy texture that falls apart on the fork. A surface so smooth the sauce slides right off. Wheat so overprocessed that it barely tastes like anything. You're not cooking dinner. You're boiling disappointment. Today, we're exposing 7 spaghetti brands that are betraying your plate, and revealing 2 brands that actually cook like real Italian pasta. Let's start with number 7. Number 7, Barilla. That familiar blue box. The most common spaghetti on grocery store shelves. Walk into any supermarket, any convenience store, any corner shop. Barilla is everywhere. For decades, it's been the default choice. Grab it without thinking. Boil it. Done. Affordable. Easy to find. The pasta your family probably grew up eating. So common that it practically became synonymous with spaghetti itself. But the problems begin the moment the pasta hits boiling water. Barilla goes soft fast. Too fast. That firm, springy al dente bite you expect from good spaghetti is gone before you even drain the pot. The window between undercooked and overcooked is frustratingly narrow. Miss it by 60 seconds, and you're left with gummy strands that stick together and fall apart on your fork. Try this. Cook it 1 minute less than the package says. Drain it. Plate it. Twirl your fork. Even then, it already feels overcooked. Now look at your sauce. See how it slides off instead of clinging? That's because Barilla's surface is industrially smooth. It's extruded through modern Teflon dies, designed for speed and efficiency, not texture. Sauce needs something to grip. Traditional bronze dies create microscopic roughness that helps marinara, pesto, or olive oil stick to every strand. Without that texture, your carefully made sauce pools at the bottom of the bowl, while naked noodles sit on top. You end up eating pasta and sauce separately, instead of together. Taste the noodle on its own. That wheat flavor real pasta should have? Barely there. Barilla is dried at very high temperatures to speed up production. That heat destroys flavor compounds and weakens the protein structure that gives good pasta its character. What's left is exactly what it is. Mass-produced commodity pasta, optimized for shelf life and factory speed. Not for your plate. For the home cook trying to nail a simple aglio e olio, where the pasta itself has to shine. For the parent who wants weeknight dinner to actually taste good. For anyone who's ever wondered why restaurant pasta feels so different from homemade, Barilla is a big part of the answer. The economics explain everything. Barilla is one of the largest pasta producers in the world. They move massive volume on tight margins. Every decision favors cost and speed. Slow drying takes time. Bronze dyes wear out faster. High-quality durum wheat costs more. When you buy Barilla, you're buying the result of those calculations. Default choice. Default disappointment. Number 6, the Secco. For years, the Secco was considered the step-up pasta. The brand serious home cooks recommended when someone asked, "What's better than basic grocery store spaghetti?" That elegant packaging. The woman carrying wheat. The Italian heritage dating back to 1886. A slightly higher price that made you believe you were paying for real quality. Food writers praised it. Home cooks trusted it. The Secco meant you cared about what you cooked. Then something started to change. Italian chefs and reviewers began saying it out loud. The Secco isn't what it used to be. Cook an older batch next to a newer one, and the difference becomes obvious. The texture changed. The cooking behavior changed. What was once clearly better has leveled out to taste, surprisingly similar to Barilla. And that's not a compliment. Cook it exactly according to the package directions, and watch what happens. The outside turns soft, while the center stays strangely firm. An uneven cook. Every bite feels different. Some strands mushy, others still holding a raw core. Good pasta should cook evenly, from edge to center, with heat moving through the strand consistently. The Secco no longer delivers that. Now the sauce problem appears again. A smooth, industrial surface that gives sauce nothing to cling to. Your carefully made marinara slides off the noodles and collects at the bottom of the bowl. For a brand that built its reputation on being better than commodity pasta, that's a serious failure. Taste it side by side with Barilla. Pay close attention. The wheat flavor that once set the Secco apart has faded. What you're tasting now is a brand coasting on reputation. while quality quietly declines. For the cook who paid extra, believing premium price meant premium pasta. For anyone who recommended Prosecco to friends, based on how it used to be. For every shopper who trusted that heritage packaging. This is disappointment at a higher price. Premium branding. Average performance. Number 5. Chef Boyardee Mini Spaghetti Rings. This isn't spaghetti. It's childhood nostalgia in a can. For adults who grew up in the 80s and 90s, Chef Boyardee brings back memories of quick lunches and after-school snacks. That emotional connection is powerful. But nostalgia doesn't make food good. Open a can and really look inside. Those tiny spaghetti rings collapse the moment they touch your mouth. No chew. No structure. Nothing resembling real pasta. You're not eating spaghetti. You're eating tomato sauce, with pasta fragments suspended in it. The pasta-to-sauce ratio tells the real story. Each spoonful delivers mostly sauce, with a few soft bits of noodle. You're paying for tomato product, with grain filler, not pasta with sauce. Now look at the meatballs on the label. Marketing at its finest. Inside the can you'll find maybe 3 or 4 tiny meat pieces. Soft, indistinct, barely noticeable. They exist so the label can say, with meatballs, taste the sauce. Sweet. Processed. Engineered for shelf stability, not flavor. This isn't marinara. It's tomato-flavored sugar paste, loaded with preservatives. The sodium alone pushes toward a full day's recommended limit. In a single serving. For parents grabbing this, thinking it's a quick pasta dinner. For anyone eating it regularly, because it's cheap and easy. For families who see spaghetti on the label and assume it counts as a meal. This is convenience food, not real food. Chef Boyardee's entire value proposition is ease, open and heat. But convenience doesn't equal quality. Number 4. San Remo. San Remo sits on store shelves, looking like a reasonable everyday option. Affordable, easy to find, a vaguely European-sounding name that suggests tradition and quality. Millions of families buy it, without thinking much about it. Cook it, and the problems appear immediately. Follow the instructions exactly. Set a timer. Drain it perfectly. What do you get? Soft, sagging noodles that stretch and break on the fork. San Remo has no real al dente window. It jumps straight from undercooked to overcooked. Soft pasta absorbs too much water, diluting what little wheat flavor it had. The noodles become waterlogged and limp. Sauce slides right off. By the time you plate it, you're left with soggy strands, sitting in a puddle of sauce. Taste the pasta on its own. There's almost nothing there. The wheat flavor is so mild. It practically doesn't exist. The reason is simple. Fast drying at high temperatures. It speeds production, but destroys the gluten structure that gives good pasta its bite. For anyone who thought all dried pasta was basically the same. For busy families grabbing the cheapest option. For cooks wondering why their spaghetti always turns out soft and bland. San Remo is the answer. Number 3. Store brand/generic spaghetti. Every supermarket has it. The house brand. The value label. Half the price. Same ingredients on the box. Durum wheat. Water. So how different could it really be? Very different. Drop store brand spaghetti into boiling water. And watch what happens. These noodles are made fast and cheap. Dried at extremely high temperatures to maximize factory output. That aggressive heat destroys the gluten structure that gives good pasta its bite. What's left collapses in the pot, jumping from raw to mush, with almost no al dente window in between. The flour tells the story. Quality pasta uses durum wheat semolina, coarser, higher in protein, able to hold its shape and flavor. Generic brands cut costs by using softer, cheaper wheat flours that break down quickly and taste bland. Consistency is another problem. One box might cook acceptably. You got lucky. The next box, same brand, same store, turns to mush in the same cooking time. Quality control at this scale is minimal. And then there's the surface. Store-brand spaghetti comes out, slick and shiny, giving sauce nothing to cling to. The noodles might as well be coated in oil. For families trying to stretch grocery money. For college students grabbing the cheapest option. For anyone who assumed pasta is pasta. Store-brand spaghetti is why your homemade pasta never tastes right. Cheap price. Cheap results. Number 2. Dilalo/Prosecco style, Italian name pasta. Inconsistent mid-tier brands. Italian name. Italian colors. Italian heritage printed on the box. You pay a little more. Expecting Italian craftsmanship. What you get instead is a gamble. Some boxes cook decently. Not great, but edible. Others turn soft and brittle. No matter how carefully you time them, that inconsistency ruins dinner before it even reaches the plate. Even when you get a good batch, the pasta lacks personality. Bland. Forgettable. It disappears under the sauce, instead of contributing to the dish. In simple preparations, aglio e olio, cacio e pepe, where the pasta has to carry flavor, these brands completely fail. Home cooks report uneven strands, color variations, noodles that don't cook evenly in the same pot. You won't get sick, but it reveals a process that prioritizes volume over craft. For shoppers who trusted the Italian name, for anyone who assumed heritage meant quality, for cooks who paid more and got less, the label promises far more than the pasta delivers. Italian branding. Unreliable performance. Number 1. SpaghettiOs and canned spaghetti. This is the bottom of the list. And calling it spaghetti is generous. Real spaghetti starts as dried durum wheat. You boil it until firm but tender. It has chew structure resistance. Canned spaghetti? Tiny rings floating in sweet tomato sauce. Engineered for shelf life, not eating. Look closely. Those rings dissolve the moment they hit your tongue. No chew. No bite. No texture. You're not eating pasta. You're swallowing tomato-flavored mush, with grain particles suspended in it. The sauce exists for one purpose: to survive months in a warehouse. Sweet. Processed. Stabilized with preservatives. Compared to real marinara, tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, herbs, it's not even the same category of food. Check the nutrition label. Excessive sodium. Added sugars. Ingredients designed to extend shelf life, not nourish a body. For parents serving this regularly, thinking it counts as dinner. For anyone eating canned spaghetti, because it's cheap and effortless. For families who see spaghetti on the label and assume it's a meal. This is industrial convenience, not food. Kids eat it without complaining. That's not quality. That's marketing. Iconic brand. Nutritional disappointment. Where real spaghetti finally proves itself. By now the pattern is clear. The bad brands all fail in the same ways. Soft texture, sauce that won't cling, and noodles that contribute nothing to the dish. But spaghetti itself isn't the problem. Real pasta still exists. The difference is simple. Some brands refuse to abandon tradition. Safe pick number 1, Rusticella d'Abruzzo. While most companies chase speed, cost-cutting, and longer shelf life, Rusticella d'Abruzzo stayed patient. This pasta is still slow-dried at low temperatures, the way Italian producers have done it for generations. You notice the difference immediately. Drop it into boiling water, and the strands hold their shape. They don't collapse. They don't go limp. Even if you slightly overcook it, it doesn't fall apart. That resilience comes from slow drying, which allows the gluten structure to develop properly, instead of being destroyed by industrial heat. Now twirl your fork. Watch how the sauce clings to every strand. Rusticella uses traditional bronze dyes, which create microscopic roughness on the surface. That texture grabs sauce. Instead of letting it slide off, taste the pasta on its own. There's real wheat flavor. Nutty, clean, and present. The noodle contributes to the dish, instead of disappearing beneath the sauce. Yes, it costs more, sometimes significantly more, but the improvement in texture, flavor, and sauce performance makes it worth every cent. 4 simple dishes like olive oil and garlic, fresh tomato sauce, or cacio e pepe. This pasta actually performs. This is what people mean when they talk about pasta having tooth. Safe pick number 2, Garofalo or Rummo. Here, you have 2 excellent choices. Both are Italian. Both have centuries of history. Both prioritize the plate over the factory. Garofalo, founded in 1789. Garofalo uses high-quality durum wheat semolina and consistent production methods. The pasta cooks evenly, stays separate, and grips sauce properly. Its biggest advantage? A wide al dente window. You're not racing the clock, trying to catch a 30-second sweet spot. The pasta holds its structure, giving you time to drain and plate, without panic. Rummo. Rummo focuses on what it calls slow processing. That means gentle drying, controlled heat, and protected gluten structure. The result is pasta that resists collapse, maintains its bite, and feels substantial on the fork. Pair it with a rich meat sauce, or simple olive oil and herbs. It delivers either way. Final thoughts. If your pantry still holds Barilla, De Secco, San Remo, store-brand pasta, or canned spaghetti, the problem was never your cooking skills. It was the noodles. Good spaghetti has three clear qualities: texture that holds instead of collapsing, a surface that grips sauce, real wheat flavor that actually shows up. Everything else is just packaging and marketing. Once you taste real pasta, the difference isn't subtle. It's obvious.